Good morning, welcome back to the latest YouTube video, vlog, whatever. We'll take you for a quick walk round to see what we've got going on in the workshop today, and then I've got an interesting project I'd like to do with you in its entirety, but we'll get to that in a minute. So let's just have a quick look round and see what we're up to. Right, over here by the front door we've got this suite that's in to be recovered. This is going to be an interesting project. The customer's chosen a lovely Art of the Loom printed velvet fabric to go on it, so that should be great. And here's the cushions for it. Plenty of fabrics. We need to get on with some work. This is a cushion or mattress for a camper van that we need to get done. This is what I'm currently working on, is a pair of reclining wing chairs. One's done underneath there. That's a back for this one, you can see here. So I need to get this little job out of the way first and then jump back onto these and get them back to the customer. So this is what I thought you might find was interesting today that we can talk about. A pair of chairs. The customer brought them in. This is the existing one. It's got a bit tired, dirty, etc. So they wanted them recovering, and the seats collapsed in them. So this particular customer thought, that's easy, I can do that. That's Upholstery. So they decided to have a go themselves. Initially looking at it, you can see that the pattern is off center, it's also upside down, and the fabric's inside out. But the customer wants it that way round. That's the other one, which is also upside down, by the way. But anyway, at least it's the right inside out. So they thought, this is simple, I can do this. So they went out, bought some scatter cushions apparently, and used the stuffing from the scatter cushions, and had a go themselves. You can see they got stuck, they admitted defeat and decided to come and see us, the professionals, have it done properly. It's not the worst attempt that I've seen. But there you go. It also was a rattan chair, and they've just, well, put board in it, which is fine, fair enough, but they haven't even bothered to pick out the leftovers of the rattan. So there you go. We will go through this today. You will join us for the ride, and you can see what a professional job looks like in comparison. I'm not going to diss anybody for attempting anything themselves, but there are limits. This customer spent money and now that's been wasted, but we'll do a proper job for them, and I'm sure they'll be very pleased with the results. So I hope you can see the chair just here over my shoulder. So we'll crack on with stripping off what the customer's done already and see exactly what they've got going on. We'll try and show you everything and the processes involved in doing this job properly. Okay. So first off, let's get these old, well, new old studs out. These are brass studs. We'll get them out, get the staples out and see what we've got inside. I believe it's just stuffing out of some scatter cushions that they used, which explain why it's very lumpy. So let's crack on. Right, so there we have it. He wasn't lying, that's just loose fibre from stuff in scatter cushions, seat cushions, that sort of thing. Not really the sort of thing you should be using for a seat. It won't aid any support, it'll go lumpy, it's just not going to do the job. They've put a board over the old rattan work, which I showed you here. I'm not going to take the board off. We weren't asked to do that. I did point out the old rattan work, but the customer's happy to leave that there. So got board in here, it's perfectly okay. We see that quite a lot. So now I'm going to cut a piece of foam. Going to layer it. We're going to have 1/2 inch in the middle and then 1 inch to the edge where we're going to be stapling it. I will wipe this over with a bit of stain first and clean it up just a little bit to get rid of some of these marks around here, just because we can't do the job properly. Right, so let's give this a wipe over with some white spirit just along this top edge here to clean this off, and then we're going to put some wood stain over it. This is a dark mahogany stain, so it matches the chair. Need some gloves, and I'm just going to use a bit of scrap foam to apply the stain. Right, so it's quick and simple as that, but it makes a difference to the finish. It's better to do it now than trying to do it when it's covered. You don't want to get any of this on your fabric. So now we'll cut the foam, attach the foam and put a top cover on it. Just a quick caveat before anybody asks, no, we're not repolishing this chair. I've just given it a cursory wipe over with a bit of stain to darken the damaged light wood on it, just so it blends in with the rest of it. We're not repolishing the chair, we've not been asked to repolish the chairs, so that's all that we do, is give it a clean and a wipe over with some polish. We don't seal it or anything like that. That's basically it. Right, so let's mark the foam and cut the foam to size. Like I said, we're going to use 2 pieces of foam. We're going to use a piece of 1/2 inch in the centre. It's going to be about 2-3 inches smaller than the 1 inch, which is going to go on the top. It's there. Okay, so let's do that. So I'm going to lay the first piece of 1/2 inch on, and just using an eye, I'm going to mark out a centre piece, like so. Okay, so we'll cut that out, square it up a bit, cut that out, and that piece is ready to go. Go in the centre, like so. Okay. I'll glue that on in a second once I've done the 1 inch. So the 1 inch, I'm going to mark from the underside, use the frame as a template, and then I will draw a line approximately 1.5 inches inside that line and cut it out. Take 1 inch off of that. Take 1 inch off of that to start with. I can always take a bit more off if I think it's necessary. That's my foam saw. Not everybody will have one of these at home, but a bread knife will suffice. You won't get as clean this edge, but it will do the job. Right, that's that cut out. We'll just check to see what the fitment's like now. Okay, very happy with that. We've got to try and cover the holes that have been made previously. I'm just going to make it a little bit shallower, so I'll take a 1/2 inch off of this and then it will be spot on. So I'm happy enough with that, with the 1/2 inch underneath it, which is here. We'll glue the 1/2 inch on and then we'll staple this on. I shall get back to you when that's done. Right, so there you can see new seat foam is on. A lot nicer than old scatter cushion feels. So do that with the other chair as well in a bit, but next we've got to look at the cover. Now this is the cover that the customer cut, and they want it on this way round, and this is the top. The cover should go that way round, and that is the top. But there you go. It's the customer's choice. We're happy to do that. I think they just want to change from the fabric, so there you go. So we'll cut this piece of fabric and then we'll attach this to the frame. The edges, when we come to them here, because we're going to nail them with the fabric, we're going to fold the fabric under and then nail it, so we don't have any raw edge of fabric showing where we're nailing it. Don't know if you can see this on the camera there, but you can see that there is a colour variation on the inside of this fabric. This is a best guess would suggest an old curtain fabric they've used, but you can see and I can smell that it's got the light piece here, then a dark and then light. So to try and keep, because we've got the two chairs, try and keep it uniform, we're going to struggle here to find two pieces that are going to match. So I think I'm going to cut it from this end. It seems a little bit more uniform, the colour difference. So here's the two pieces that I'm going to use. Colour variation's not too bad, but there definitely is, but I can't help that. That's what we've been instructed to use. So let's spin around and get this tacked on to the chair. Right, this the thistle design in the centre, we're going to try and centralise that in the seat. So I need to just get it on where I'm happy with it. It's just using your eyes, lining the pattern up with the frame, get that on, and right, and I'll cut off the salvage. As I've got two of these to do, once I've cut the salvage off, I I will lay this onto the other piece of fabric and cut that out now at the same time, so I know they're both the same. I'm using the edge of the frame as my guide for cutting, so long as I know that I've cut along there, I know I've got plenty of fabric to fold under. Right, so that's the first one cut, so I'll just transfer that one to the other one and quickly cut that. Back in a second. Right, centralise this on. I'm going to start with the back edge. I'm going to fold the fabric back on itself, get a nice straight line where I want to staple. Bear in mind I've also got to nail this as well. Check I've got the fabric lined up, easing it towards the front. I'm going to fold this edge under, give it a little pull and staple it. Fold, pulling sort of diagonally from the centre out to the corner, get some tension in it. It back towards the centre, do the same on the other side. Fold, ease it out. That's the back and the front edge stapled on, back and the front edge. Now whenever I'm pulling an imaginary line from the centre out to the corners, both directions, to get the tension in it, and try and keep the pattern as square as possible, horizontally and vertical lines, try and keep them straight. We don't want to distort the pattern too much if we can help it. Major issue with stripes and checks, to try and maintain that. We've got a lot of fabric here, I don't need that much to fold under, so I'm going to trim some of that off. We don't want it too bulky. Start with the centre of the side, easing it over. Staples, then fold trying to keep the fabric the same distance from the front edge and the side edge to create a nice picture frame effect. I'm having to work with what customers already done or has been previously done, so I am governed by that to a certain degree because I've got to cover the original holes as best I can. Right, so that's that stapled on. From my point of view, as quick and simple as that, but I have been doing this 30 plus years, so if it wasn't quick and simple for me, I'd be doing something wrong. But take your time, confidence, right tools, equipment and the process. The finished job is only ever as good as what you start with, so every process is just as important as the previous one or the next one. Without them all being done correctly or neatly, there are different ways of doing things, everybody has a different way of doing things, but to achieve the end result it's pretty much the same. I've now got to nail these. We're going to use some brass nails. We're going to use some nails. These are loose nails. Can you see them there? Individual nails. Put them in individually. You can get strip nails, which will be just as good for this job as any. These are strip nails, so every fifth one has a hole in it to put a nail through to attach it. See it a lot on pub furniture. You do see it on domestic furniture when people are being lazy, but as this customer had already attempted to put loose nails in it, we're going to do that for them. So we'll show you us doing that with some loose nails. Right, so here's the loose nails that we're going to use. These are brass coloured. They're steel nails with a brass finish on them. You can get solid brass nails, but they're expensive, and you can get an awful lot of different finishes for nails. But we're using brass on these. And this is my trusty upholsterer's hammer. It has a magnet on one end, and the other end is just slightly larger. It has a nice soft edge to hopefully not damage the finish on the nails. So I'll crack on with nailing, and we'll show you that.
Right, so there's a few nails in there just to show you the effect we're going for. Just need to tap this one in, straighten that line up a little bit, and then go right the way around this job, and then it's pretty much done. So I'll get back to you and show you the finished result.
So there we have it. On the left, the freshly upholstered new seat. On the right, the old seat that the customer wanted recovered. So, job done. I hope this has been informative and explains a little bit more about the upholstery process and what is involved with it, how difficult it can be or how easy it is, however you want to look at it. We'll keep you updated with the other projects in the workshop, and we'll see you next time. Please like, share and subscribe. It means a lot to us, and we'll keep the content coming. Thanks again. Bye bye.